What's going on, guys? It's Latronus, and today I'm bringing you my PvP Nightblade stamina build for under level 50. I'm going to smash through all this stuff as fast as possible. I'll drop a whole crap load of information in the description below for you guys to check out. If I go a little bit too fast, you can go down there. I'll put my skills down there, my combos down there, the armor, everything you need to know will be in the description as well as in this video. I'm also going to timestamp the whole video for you guys. So if you want to jump to the skills, or if you want to jump to the Nightblade gameplay, whatever you want to do, go ahead, go to the description, jump to what you want to see right in there. I want to make it as simple and easy for you guys as possible. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to smash through the armor we have. So some of this stuff you guys are going to absolutely hate. I use poisons, I use vipers. They're the best in the game right now. They're the meta, as some people are calling it now. They're the best in the game right now, and they're going to help you DPS and smash guys to 0 health as fast as you can. I guess I could talk a little bit about the build real quick. This guy's a Woodelf. Every single one of his attribute points are in stamina, and he can DPS guys from 25,000 health down to 0 health in just a few seconds. About 20,000 health to 23,000 health is the most comfortable range to smash guys down to 0 in about 2 seconds, probably, without them even getting up off the ground. But still has the capability to smash down higher health guys, 25,000, 28,000 health. You just need to extend the combo a little bit. 25,000 health, though, you should be able to smash down just about anybody to 0 health in just a few seconds. It's pretty dang awesome. So getting right into the armor sets, we use the arm crops of the Viper, which is the shoulders of the Viper. Easiest set to get in the game, I think. Amazing set for a low level. All you do is the Fungal Grotto, 1 dungeon, grind that through, try to get the well-fitted trait on 2 armor pieces, which the 2 I happened to get were the arm crops or the shoulders with the well-fitted trait, also with the maximum stamina enchantment, and then also well-fitted on the belt with a maximum stamina enchantment. And while we're at it, I put maximum stamina enchantments on all of my gear to make it simple. And the more stamina you have, the more damage you're going to do with this build, which is pretty cool. And so all of your jewelry are also going to be of the Viper's Sting set. And to just see this set real quick, it does weapon critical, maximum stamina, and then every 4 seconds, when you do melee damage, you deal an additional almost 6,000 poison damage. So it's an amazing set to have on. When they nerf it in like a month, it's going to turn that 6,000 damage and make it deal that amount of damage over 4 seconds. Which honestly isn't that big of a buff, or isn't that big of a nerf. It still is a nerf, but it's still doing the same 6,000 damage. It's just spreading it over 4 seconds. So it's not, it's not that bad of a nerf, and honestly it's still going to be really widely used. The second set we're going to use is Eternal Hunt. So you want your helmet, your chest, boots, legs, arms. I guess yours could be different, but you want somebody to craft you the Eternal Hunt armor set. And this one, when you roll dodge, I'll show you real quick, it sets out a little like detonation thing, and when it explodes it deals something like 6 or 8, it does like almost 6,000 poison damage to them. Yeah, 6,627 poison damage, and immobilizes them for 1.5 seconds. So if you're like fighting a guy, you're like, rah, 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 hurry, back up, fall off a cliff, land, survive it, and then they blow up at the top of the cliff, and you're free to run around and go do whatever you want. We're on a smaller rock now, but it's better than the other rock. Alright, where were we? We're going to go right back to the armor sets. So everything has maximum stamina enchantment, as I said before. So you're going to have 5 pieces of Eternal Hunt and 5 pieces of Viper. Eternal Hunt is craftable. Viper is from the Fungal Grotto, 1 dungeon, and then both your weapons are also going to be Eternal Hunt. Both your weapons you're going to want to put sharpened on them. On your bow, you can put powered if you want to. I put powered on my greatsword. I meant to put it on my bow, so I'm probably going to switch these 2s around. If you put powered on, it increases your healing done by 6%, so that's just going to make you a little bit more tanky, a little bit more survivable when you pop your healing skill. So I would put that on the bow. I'd put sharpened on your greatsword, and that will just help you heal a little more. And the sharpened is probably the best trait in the game. Even when it gets nerfed, it's probably still going to be one of the best traits in the game. So that's going to sum up all of the armor. And then the poison I'm using, I have stealth draining poison, which exposes your victim, preventing them from stealthing for 5.5 seconds. This is amazing to counteract Nightblades. I hate Nightblades in PvP. Even though I play as a Nightblade, I hate them.
So I want to negate their stealth by using a stealth draining potion. So even if they try to stealth away, I can always see them, because within the first like few seconds of the fight, this stealth draining poison always procs, and since it deals so much damage, they're going to stealth away probably pretty dang quickly, and you're just going to be able to see them and damage them down. The next thing we're doing is the damage health poison, which I think is the best poison in the game. You get a whole bunch of variations of this poison, but the one I'm doing is deals 1,329 poison damage per second for 6.5 seconds, as a 20% chance to apply it on light attacks, heavy attacks, or weapon abilities. So this is just extra DPS to your character. It's an amazing poison to use. I highly recommend using poisons. If you can't afford to buy poisons, you're going to do the weapon damage enchantment on your Eternal Hunt bow and the weapon damage enchantment on your Eternal Hunt greatsword. Both those enchantments are amazing, and they'll do really good things for you if you cannot afford the poisons. Also, you can run damage health poisons on both of these slots too if you don't feel the need to have to kill Nightblades like I do. So next up, we're going to go through the skills super duper fast. First off, we have Shadowy Disguise, and this is basically, we have this on to get a critical strike. You throw Shadowy Disguise, your next attack within 3 seconds is a critical strike. Amazing. Poison Injection, best damage over time ability you have available. And when they're below 50% health, you do 200% more damage to them. Amazing. You pop it at the beginning of the fight, and then you pop it again at the end of the fight if they're not dead yet. Usually they're dead if they're around 25,000 health. They're going to be dead by the end of your combination. Reaper's Mark, you put this on them, gives them major fracture and major breach. So it basically just takes their spell and physical resistance down by 5,280 for 20 seconds. Amazing ability. Also, whoever is marked after you kill them, you heal for 57% of your max health, and your damage is increased by 25% for the next 5 seconds. So if you're fighting a group of guys, you kill the one with the mark first, you get a heal, and then boom, 25% extra damage to smash down the other guy. And then once that guy dies, you have health back and more damage. It's a circle of death. It's amazing. Next up, we have Shuffle, and this is our CC immunity ability. Usually I use this when, I usually have it up all the time, but when you're escaping from somebody, Shuffle is definitely what you're going to want to pop so they can't nail you to the ground. They can't make, they can't CC you in any way, because it gives you CC immunity. It also gives you a 15% dodge chance, which you can definitely notice, because every few attacks they'll miss it, and if they miss a really big attack, it's just absolutely amazing. Next up, we have Resolving Vigor, and this one is your heal for this class, which is basically a passive heal, 8,000 health over 5 seconds, and heals nearby allies. The thing I forgot to do really quick was Shadowy Disguise is in Shadow. Your Poison Injection is in your Bow skill line. It's one of the last abilities you unlock. The Reaper's Mark is in the Siphon, or is in the Assassination skill line. Shuffle is actually the Medium Armor level 50 ability, which starts out as Evasion, and then Resolving Vigor is inside the Alliance War skill line in Assault, and you unlock it at level 5 in the Alliance War. You unlock it pretty freaking fast if you're playing PvP a lot. And then finally, we have Dawnbreaker, and basically this ultimate is just used if you're fighting a whole bunch of people at the same time. Does almost 6,000 physical damage immediately, then 7,000 physical damage over the next 5 seconds. So if you're fighting like 3 or 4 guys at the same time, you can blow this off right in front of you, and it'll give them all a good chunk of damage, and then do a lot of damage over time after that. It can make a lot of people freak out. It's an amazing ability to use. Next up, we're going to switch to our back bar, which is our greatsword. This bar is amazing. This bar is where the most of the damage you deal comes out of. First off, we have Executioner, which is in the two-handed skill line. So 4th skill down. This is your Execute ability. Deals up to 345% more damage to enemies with less than 50% health. It's the ability I use to kill about 90% of the people. I burst them down to about 10% or 15% health. And then you hit Executioner and it finishes them off because it deals so much damage. Next up, we have Surprise Attack, which is going to be your spammable DPS ability. It is in the Shadow skill line. It also gives them Major Fracture, reduces their physical resistance by 5,280, and a lot of your attacks are physical, so this just makes your other attacks deal more damage. Also, if you're in Sneak and you happen to hit somebody while you're in Sneak with this thing, not only would you crit them if you use Shadowy Disguise to go into Sneak, but it'll also hit them onto the ground, which is really cool. Next up, we have Ambush, which you fly through the air, you hit them, dealing 4,105 physical damage. But the big kicker for this one, it grants you Empower, increasing the damage of your next attack by 20%. Absolutely amazing. Also, if the target is a player that are briefly snared instead of being stunned, so you snare them to the ground, your next attack is worth 20% extra damage. Absolutely amazing. So next up we have Mass Hysteria, and if you're fighting against a whole bunch of people at the same time, Mass Hysteria is the way to go. Basically fears them and they all run away from you, then you attack one guy, burst them down really quick, and also when they get out of fear, their movement speed is reduced by 52% and their damage is reduced by 15%. Amazing ability, especially if you're fighting against another guy who has a ton of DPS burst potential. You want to hit him with Mass Hysteria as fast as possible to get it so they can't move around a lot and to make their damage 15% less. Next up, we have Momentum, which is a very important ability. It is in the two-handed skill line. It is the last thing you unlock. Haven't even been able to morph it yet. Momentum just by itself is amazing though. Focus your strength to gain major brutality, increasing your weapon damage by 20% for 32 seconds. So you want to have this momentum up all the time. It lasts for 32 seconds. So basically anytime I'm in PvP, I'm constantly redoing momentum. So my weapon damage is constantly 20% higher. Absolutely amazing. Next up is still Momentum. You heal for 787 health every 2 seconds while it's active. So basically it takes your health regeneration up from whatever it is and ups it by 787. The reason I say that is because Momentum is basically up all the time, or it should be up all the time while you're playing PvP. So finally, the last thing we have, Incapacitating Strikes, was an amazing ability. Deals almost 9,000 or deals 8.3k disease damage, stuns people for 4 seconds, increases your damage against them by 20% for 6 seconds, and also afflicts them with Major Defile, which reduces the effectiveness of healing done to them by 30%. Amazing ability, and it's super cheap. Only costs 70 ultimate, so you get it back so freaking often, it's ridiculous. I think, yeah, so this one's worth 125, so about a little, like around 40% Dawnbreaker is when your Incapacitating Strikes is at 100% and you're allowed to hit people with it. This is part of our rotation, is a major part of our rotation. At the end of the video, I'll show a bunch of clips of me playing with this Nightblade build, and you can see sometimes I don't use it if they're like a really weak character, if they only have like 18,000 health or whatever, or like 19 or 20,000 health. But if they're at like 25,000 health, Incapacitating Strikes is going to be the skill that allows you to blast them down as fast as this class has the ability to. So that's going to clean up all of the skills. We can go through the passives really quick. Assassination, grab all the passives. Shadow, grab all the passives. Siphoning, don't grab any of the passives except for Catalyst. So Catalyst just gives you 20 ultimate after drinking a potion, and I am running potions on this build that we'll talk about in a second. It just makes you generate a little more ultimate, which is really helpful. Also, these, you can run them, these other ones, if you use Soul Tether instead of Dawnbreaker, because I know Dawnbreaker is really hard to get. I don't know if I said it is the Fighter Guild ultimate. So if you can't use that ultimate, go ahead and go for the Siphoning ultimate, which is Soul Tether, pins everybody to the ground, deals a good amount of damage, and heals you at the same time. A really good ultimate to use, an alternative. And if you do that ultimate, then do these passives as well. This one at the bottom really isn't going to be helpful for you, since it's only casting a Siphoning ability generates one ultimate. You're not going to cast this ultimate very often. So I would only do the top 3 or just the top 1, depending on your situation. So next up, two-handed, you're going to do heavy weapons and balanced blade. This is a below level 50 build, but if you have access to it, also do battle rush. If you're above level 50, we'd probably end up maxing out everything here, but just prioritize heavy weapons and balanced blade. Those are your best 2 passives for that skill line. For your bow, you want to max out absolutely everything. Hasty retreat is so important for the skill line. You roll dodge and you gain major expedition, increasing your movement speed by 30%. Absolutely amazing, can get you out of situations so fast because you run basically as fast as a horse. especially in below level 50 PvP. Next up, we have the medium armor. So you want all your medium armor passives. They're all super, super amazing. Windwalker is probably one of the best ones you're going to want to max out first. Dexterity is actually amazing too. Just max out all of them. If you're short on points, you don't have to do improved sneak, but it does help a lot because you sneak around a ton with this class, and having 49% reduced sneak cost is amazing. You can sneak for so long and still have a lot of your stamina left. Also, your detection area is smaller too, so that's really, really cool. And then finally, for our race for Woodelf is the best race in my opinion for this Nightblade build. Acrobat is so important since you're using all of the bow passives you can. It just lets you upgrade your bow 15% quicker and decreases your fall damage taken by 10%, which in PvP can actually be helpful at times. If you need to jump off like a cliff or something to get away from people, you have a higher chance of surviving the fall. Next up, this increases your stamina recovery by 21%. These latest patches, recovery has become a very, very big deal. A lot of people have been putting their champion points into recovery instead of other things. So having 20% passive recovery is amazing. Resist Affliction increases your max stamina by 6% and poison and disease resistance by 1485. Cool little skill there. Max stamina, higher stamina is, the better your, or the more your guy is going to hit, the harder he is going to hit. Next up we have Stealthy. Just reduces your detection radius, but the big thing is increases your damage done while in stealth by 6%. That's absolutely amazing and is a big part of this build. That is all of the passives for this build, and as you can see, I have 38 Sky Shards, so I do have a ton of skill points put into this build. And it requires a lot to get to this point, but overall it is a fairly easy build to achieve. Before I get too sidetracked, we're going to hurry and talk about the food that I use. Food is very, very important in PvP. You should always run food. So I use the Ramar Slaughterfish Pie. Just any max health / max stamina food will do. Once I use this food, in PvP, I'm around 23,000, 23 point something thousand health. Which is an amazing place to be at. You can't be bursted down as easily as people who are only like 20k health, and it gives you a nice healthy chunk of stamina. My stamina in PvP is sitting around like 35,000 stamina, which is really, really good. And then finally for our potion, we're going to be running the Solution of Weapon Power, which grants Major Brutality, but increases your weapon damage by 20% for 24.3 seconds. Also immediately gives you stamina, and it gives you Major Endurance, which increases your stamina regeneration by 20% for 24.3 seconds. So I only use this potion when I'm out of stamina, or I can't cast momentum again, or I just don't think that I have enough stamina to cast momentum and then do a bunch of other stuff, because this does grant Major Brutality and momentum grants Major Brutality. So, and Major Brutality can't stack on top of each other. So you have momentum up and your stamina is fine. Do not use this potion because it won't help you at all, since those two Major Brutalities don't stack on each other. But other than that, when my stamina is drained, I'll pop one of these potions. Gives me immediate stamina, stamina regeneration, and I don't have to hit momentum for the next 24 seconds, which is really, really cool. But it does have a 45-second cooldown, so you kind of gotta watch out for that. Alright guys, the final thing I'm going to show you is just my stat page. This is outside of Cyrodiil, so it's not 100% correct. As you see, my max health only says I have 18,000, but as soon as you get in Cyrodiil, you get a bunch of buffs. So this is going to buff up to 23,000 health, 35,000 stamina. It's going to stay the same. Magical will stay the same at 11,000. And then our stamina recovery is at a nice 2,000. When you have the momentum up, it doesn't show it, but momentum gives you 730 something health every 1 second. So your health recovery technically would be 7, 8, 9, 10, would be 1,000 something health recovery, which is really, really good while you have momentum up. And then finally, magical recovery is 713. It's not really that important. Our physical and spell resistance isn't super high, but it is decent. This is a pretty glass cannon build. So all buffed up, this is what we're looking like. Almost 60% spell or weapon critical. Weapon damage is almost 2,000. And then spell damage doesn't really matter. Spell critical doesn't really matter either. And then we're going with the boon, the Thief, to increase weapon and spell critical strike rating. And then other than that, Looks like that is going to completely sum up the build. This is what it looks like if we have our potion on. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. All right, so with our potion on, it takes our stamina recovery up to 2241, and then weapon damage is again at 1900, and then on our back bar it's at 1600 with 60% weapon critical and 56% weapon critical respectively. And then not much else changes. On our sword we have 19k max health, and over here we have 18k max health. You're going to be fighting most of the time with your two-handed, so you're going to have that max health from your two-handed. Alright guys, I've been gone for a second. They just kicked me off the server, but now I'm back on. So we're going to go over the combination, the combo you're going to do when ganking somebody or when trying to DPS somebody down. All of this is done from stealth, so either from shadowy disguise stealth or just squatting on the ground stealth. Either one will do just fine. What you're going to do is you're going to throw momentum on and then shuffle, and both of these should be on all the time, so I don't really consider them part of the combo, but if they're not on, you're going to hit shuffle, switch, hit momentum, and then switch back to your bow bar, hit the guy with Reaper's Mark, and then poison injection, switch to your back bar, ambush, surprise attack, incapacitating strikes, and then executioner. That will kill most 25,000 health players. You will see me do, I'll throw up a bunch of videos right after this, and you'll see me do a whole bunch of combinations on a bunch of guys of different varying healths. I think the strongest guy I DPS down was about 28,000 health, and the weakest was around 20,000 health, maybe a little bit under 20,000 health. But all these guys you can DPS down very, very quickly with that combination, and it's just kind of the combination I stick to. And then if things get a little messier, I just mess around with some of the other skills. But that is the combination. That is the burst damage 25,000k DPS rotation. We'll go over it one more time. So it's going to be, you're going to have momentum up already. You're also going to have shuffle up already. And then you're going to hit him with Reaper's Mark, poison injection, ambush, surprise attack, incapacitating strikes, executioner. Should kill just about anybody. If it doesn't, you can hit him with another ambush, another executioner, or just spam executioner if they're really low. Also, if you're attacking like, say, a 28k health person, I would do Reaper's Mark, heavy attack, and then poison injection, and then finish off the combo. Again, the combo is going to be down in the description along with a whole bunch of other stuff. That's going to conclude the video. I'm going to put just like a bunch of like clips and stuff of the Nightblade here at the end of the video, just kind of me running around in just different like group situations, solo situations. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you enjoyed the video, I know it was so long, then go ahead, drop a like on the video. If you want to see more Elder Scrolls Online content, go ahead, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys next time.
I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free. Let's go, let's be free.
trapping on the way down. I'm grinding on like the holy rail, and now hit the slows and go ham. Pray, oh no, I cannot take this slow. I'm grinding on like the holy rail, and now hit the slows and go pro. Yeah, race, oh wow, I'm trapping on the way down. I'm grinding on like the holy rail, and now hit the slows and go ham.